Hey, what's up guys? It's TechZoomer talking to you here. And in today's video, I want to compare the differences between the Apple Watch Ultra version 2, the one that Apple launched this Thursday. Yes, this is the current newest Apple Watch Ultra, and the Apple Watch Ultra version 1. This is the Apple Watch Ultra that came out last year. And if you're asking, yes, these are both the same Apple Watch Ultra. Not the Apple Watch Ultra 2, not the Apple Watch Ultra 1. But I think that the theme of this video, and you will understand, that these watches, if I consider these being the two, are very similar. Like they are almost the same watch. The differences that I will talk about in today's video are almost ridiculous. So you must well consider that this is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. I actually updated this watch to put the watch face there, the newest watch face. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2 watch face, and with this titanium case and sapphire glass, all the features with the Apple Watch Ultra 1. The only differences between this watch, and considering that this is the Apple Watch Ultra 1 and is almost the same, and it's very interesting to make the comparison between these two watches. What are the differences? What's actually new on these two Apple Watches? And of course, should you update them? Should you buy? Which one should you buy? And of course, why Apple? Why did you release a new version with so little features? But that's okay, I understand why. So if you want to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, follow these videos from the event, and of course, roll the intro. The first big difference between these two watches is very clear: the display. The Apple Watch Ultra 2, the second version of the Apple Watch Ultra, features a more brighter display. This is a 3000 nit brightness display, while the first generation only has 1000 nits brightness less. So a 2000 nit brightness display. This is very clear when Apple announced it to Apple Watches that this would be one of the biggest changes between the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Apple Watch Ultra 1. Yes, the display. And now the question arises, is this noticeable outside, and is it worth it? Well, I still don't have the Apple Watch Ultra 2 to tell you, but what I can tell you is that the Apple Watch Ultra 1 version display, it's really bright. Very, very bright. I never had a situation where the Apple Watch Ultra 1 display was not bright enough. Even outside, with complete sunshine on your display, with lots of reflections, you can see it very well. Even on the always-on display, on mode, the Apple Watch Ultra has a very bright display, and I don't understand why Apple marketed a 3000 nit display as being one of the best features of the Apple Watch Ultra 2, because I don't see the needs for a more bright display. Just doesn't make any sense. I understand that they are probably preparing the next generation of the iPhone and testing this smaller panel on the Apple Watch Ultra to see if the next 2 years they can put it on the iPhone Pro models. But again, I don't think this is one of the biggest nor the most important features on the Apple Watch Ultra 2. That's why I'm talking about it first. I'm telling you, if you have the Apple Watch Ultra 1 and you were thinking to upgrade it for the Apple Watch Ultra 2 just because of 1000 nits of brightness, you crazy man, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. As for the second upgrade to the display, we should also think that the Apple Watch Ultra 2 will feature a less bright display. Yes, if you know what I mean, it's like the brightness will be able to go even less than the current Apple Watch Ultra. So the minimum brightness of this display will be around 1 nit. As the Apple Watch Series 9, the Apple Watch Ultra will feature 3000 nits peak brightness and 1 nit of minimum brightness. This is very useful when you are to use your Apple Watch on a very dark environment, like on your bed when you are sleeping, on a theater when you are watching a movie. This is a very underrated feature. This is probably more important than the 1000 nits extra brightness on the Apple Watch Ultra 2 comparing to the Apple Watch Ultra 1. So if I have one complaint about the brightness of the display of the Apple Watch Ultra 1 is that the brightness is not lower enough. But that's normal. The Apple Watch Ultra has a very bright display, and even on always-on mode, it's still very bright. For 99% of the time, this is amazing. But for that 1%, when you are in a very dark place, you are in bed, when you want to watch a movie on a theater, or I don't know, in an environment that is very dark and you need your display to be extremely dim so it doesn't bother you, then of course that feature will be useful. But again, it's like another $1,000 or even $300 if you want to sell your older Apple Watch Ultra to upgrade for this one. It's totally not worth it. If you are looking to buy another Apple Watch right now, like upgrading your older Apple Watch for an Apple Watch Ultra, and you are thinking, should I buy the Ultra 2 instead of the Ultra 1 because of this new feature? Well, still, I think that you can find the Ultra 2 so cheap right now that it doesn't make any sense to buy the Ultra 2 just because of this new dimmer display. But that's for you. That's you that you gotta decide if you wanna spend the extra $200-300 on the second generation of the Apple Watch Ultra just because of a dimmer display. Of course, you will get other features like 1000 nits extra brightness and the next feature I want to talk about, the S9 SIP. The S9 SIP is probably the biggest upgrade for the Apple Watch lineup in a while in terms of chip and power. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and as you can see, it has the new watch face. No, I'm kidding. But again, you can get the older watch faces on the Apple Watch Ultra 1, and that's why I'm making this video like this on a very jokingly way to tell you that it's not worth it to upgrade from the Ultra 1 to the 2. Even choosing between the Ultra 1 and 2, it's not worth it to spend the extra money. But like I told you, probably the biggest upgrade from the Apple Watch Ultra 1 to the Apple Ultra 2 is the S9 SIP. This one has the S9, this one has a variation of the S6. So from the Apple Watch Series 6 to the Apple Watch Series 9, they did not upgrade the chip. It was the same on the 6th, the 7th and the 8th. Now on the 9th, they changed and upgraded to the S9 SIP. This is a 5nm new architecture Apple Watch chip, or like Apple likes to call it, system on a package. This is new and it's probably more powerful because now Apple has actually implemented new features that might sound a bit quirky and very gimmicky, but they are really cool. And that's the double tap feature. The double tap feature, probably in my opinion, will be the biggest change on the Apple Watch lineup since the Apple Watch Ultra, of course, but in terms of software and interaction for 5-10 years, because it's really big. I think Apple is preparing us for the Apple Vision Pro using this new gesture of double tapping with your finger. If you have your Apple Watch on your wrist and you want to use your Apple Watch, you just double tap it and it will recognize. One thing that I don't understand though is that on the older generation of the Apple Watches, the Apple Watch Ultra for example, the Apple Watch Series 9, this generation of Apple Watches, they had the option to actually use accessibility and assistive touch on the Apple Watches that will recognize your double taps, your double clenches, one tap, one clench, and you could use your Apple Watch with just these features. It was really useful. But again, Apple now I think it feels probably more confident to use this feature on the Apple Watch Ultra 2 because they are choosing to use this as a headline feature with not being an accessibility feature or an assistive touch feature. No, it's just a main feature that every single user can use. They are using only the double tap version. The double tap is used to access the primary button of the Apple Watch. So if someone calls you, you can turn on or answer the call. If you are on a timer, you can turn off the timer. If you are somewhere where the primary button is just one click away, you can use, of course, the double tap. It's really useful if you have one hand occupied and you want to use your other hand to control your Apple Watch. That way is useful. And I think most people will actually use that instead of using their other hand to reach the Apple Watch and touch it this way. This is kind of gimmicky. If you think about it, this was the first 9 to 10 years of the Apple Watch. But in the future, I think most people will use their Apple Watches this way. They will control it with the hand that has the Apple Watch. So you will have one hand that controls the Apple Watch with all these movements. This is the future of the Apple Watch, trust me. But again, I also believe that this is the future of the Apple Vision Pro. And that's why I think Apple wants to create both products with the same input system, with the same double tap, with the same clench, with the same way of interacting with these devices. So most people will know right away when they buy the Apple Vision Pro how it works, how it will be easy to use, and of course, get them settled in for the future of Apple, the Apple Vision Pro. They are preparing this with the iPhone already, shooting spatial video. They are preparing this with the Apple Watch Series Ultra 2 with the, of course, double tap. This is the input method, like I told you, on the Apple Vision Pro, and more products will come. The AirPods Pro 2 now with USB-C. They are compatible with the Apple Vision Pro with lossless capabilities. This will be very important when using the Apple Vision Pro because of the latency. So this feature, in my opinion, will be the biggest one on the Apple Watch lineup. Double tap, it's really insane. But again, I think that right away, it doesn't make any sense that Apple does not put it on the older Apple Watches. Of course, it won't work 100% like the Series 2 Ultra, but at least give it the option to choose so. If you want a less reliable way, you can use it on your older watch. But as you know, Apple doesn't work this way. Let's just hope they can improve it on the software side so they give it as later, but I don't have much hope. Of course, you can go on settings, accessibility, accessive touch, turn it on, and use it on your older Apple Watch. Go give it a try and let me know in the comments below what you think. For me, I used it for the last week since the event. It's not as reliable as I was thinking, but it's very very useful, and I like it very, very much. Finally, we don't get any battery gains from the Ultra 2 to the Ultra 1. So again, a more efficient chip, more powerful chip, a brighter display, all balances out, and at the end of the day, you have the same 36-hour battery life on these watches. And so you are now thinking, why should I upgrade from the Apple Watch Ultra 2 to the Apple Watch Ultra 1? Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Don't waste your money upgrading from this watch to this watch. Don't. But one thing you should be careful is when buying a new Apple Watch Ultra if you don't have one. If you want to upgrade to an Apple Watch Ultra right now, might be the moment, but you gotta wait. Because there's some things that you need to put in mind. The Apple Watch Ultra 1 is like 95%, or I would say 98% of the things of the Apple Watch Ultra 2. And it will be much cheaper. You'll be able to find this Apple Watch on a refurbished store, on Apple Store, I don't know, whatever your technology store is. You'll be able to find it cheaper with lots of discounts, refurbished, on the used market for much, much cheaper than the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Because that's the name of the game. Whenever the new product comes out, the older product downs in price. So you gotta decide, do you want 3000 nit display or do you want a 2000 nit display? Is that worth it? $300, the difference in price between these watches right now? Or is the S9 SIP and the double tap action worth it from this watch to this watch? And of course, finally, the biggest feature of them all, the Siri on demand. If you don't know, Siri is extremely annoying on the Apple Watch. You can talk to someone and suddenly she awakes and talks to you. This might be one of the most annoying things on the Apple Watch. On all Apple Watches, not just the Ultra, not just the Series 8. No, on all Apple Watches there's this problem. Because Siri is really sensible. And when you actually want to use it, it's really not good. Because, trust me, it has to go to the cloud. And when it has to go to the cloud, it has delay. It does not work right away. And even after that, sometimes it doesn't work. And even after that, the times that it works is actually very slow. So, as you can see, Siri, I would say, is like 60% as reliable as it should be on the Apple Watch Ultra. But with the new upgrade and the S9 SIP on the Ultra 2, this watch has now the capability to actually use Siri on demand. So, on the watch, it doesn't need to go to the cloud, so it will be much faster and, of course, much more reliable. But again, do you need that? Like $200 of difference, $300. The Apple Watch Ultra is still so good. Still has the titanium frame, still has the same sapphire display, still has the same 36-hour battery life, the same action button, the same crown, the same button, still has watchOS 10, really fluid, really fast. It has, I think, half the storage has this one, but really needs the storage on the Apple Watch Ultra, or really the Apple Watch in general. So I would say, don't waste your money on the Apple Watch Ultra. Although it's a really cool watch, although the extra 1000 nit brightness sounds really cool and actually will look really cool and really bright. And of course, the S9 SIP and even more, like for example, the double tap feature is really useful. I would not upgrade and waste your money when you have an Apple Watch Ultra 1. And even if you want to buy another Apple Watch, I wouldn't buy the version 2. I would just wait and get an Apple Watch version 1, refurbished or used. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you prefer the new features on the Apple Watch Ultra 2? And would you spend the extra money on this watch? Or will you buy the refurbished version? Or do you have the Ultra 1? Let me know in the comments below what will you do this iPhone season. If I were you, I would not upgrade. If I wanted to upgrade for a new Ultra, I would go for the version 1. But that's you gotta decide. It's your money, but if you want my opinion, the Ultra 1 is still the way to go. You will save so much money and you will get like 98% of the watch as the Ultra 2. But let me know in the comments below what you think. While you're there, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like down below. This has been Tech Smart talking to you here. Bye bye.